Hello, everybody. I am the wonderful, fabulous Jabril. I had an idea we can do a podcast, so I grabbed some of the most leftist and rightist mind that I can possibly think of that won't stop spewing horrible acid on each other. So I'm gonna let them each introduce each other.
Hi, I'm Dante Taricki. I'm a self-proclaimed libertarian, and I came here to preach
disgusting human being.
to preach the right.
Okay.
I'm Joe Walker. I'm a dirty socialist. I'm just gonna protect Bernie Sanders.
I said we drag them through the streets, and what we sending them Venezuela.
What the hell? I'm Chris, and I'm just
The average American.
I'm average American. I tell it how it is. That's about it.
Boy.
I'm a good boy.
The only reason I'm here is so people, again, they won't be snapping at each other's throats.
Jabril, you're the farthest right here.
No, I'm not. I believe in
You're gonna be the one
the
stopping
free market.
people.
No.
You're the one that beat.
Jabril, I believe that you're just a troll. Honestly,
I am a giant troll.
You just do whatever you think will piss people off.
Yo, it's actually funny because that's actually one of the main reasons I actually started looking up reasons to trump the left, because that's the only reason. That's the only reason, because I was so mad. I was like, ugh. It's like, why everywhere I gotta go, all I see is Obama.
Obama's.
Yeah, I mean, he did an alright job. I mean, his biggest failure was Obamacare.
I think every president sucks.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have a form of government, that would
Since
be proven.
Form.
I believe in an anarchical capitalist state, but let's not get back into that. So, but Obama's biggest problem was he tried too much, and it didn't work out. He made too many promises. Like, look at Obamacare. Universal health care cannot work in this country.
Obamacare is not universal health care.
Then what is it?
It's
National health care, isn't it?
It has a bunch of provisions. Some of the biggest ones are the individual mandate, which is the least popular. When people say they hate Obamacare, they mostly mean that they hate the individual mandate. It also means that healthcare providers can't discriminate based on pre-existing conditions. So if you're born with something
AIDS.
if you're born and you're predisposed to AIDS or something, whatever.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Then they can't say, well,
They
just
can't
not gonna
increase
cover
your
you.
rates.
Well,
Yes.
with Obamacare, isn't another thing that you get fined if you do not have health care?
That's the individual
Yeah,
mandate.
so
yes.
I would
That's the least
argue that
popular.
is universal health care, because if you don't have health care, you get fined.
It's not though.
Wait, you get fined?
Yeah,
At
that's the main. Yeah, that's the major problem with it. They will find you if you don't have health care.
Universal health care, when people talk about it, they use it synonymously with single-payer health care, and Obamacare is not single-payer. It is still a completely private corporate system, except they force you to have to buy it from those companies. A single-payer system, what it is they take taxpayer dollars, and they buy all of the healthcare from one company, so everybody gets healthcare using taxpayer dollars.
It's a show of learning.
So Obamacare is not universal healthcare. It's like faux universal health.
So it's like somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
It's halfway there, which felt horrible. So do you think universal health care can be applied to America?
Yeah. Why not?
Successfully?
Why not?
I mean,
what's your argument against it?
I mean, let's look at the UK. It's horrible. I mean, see, the difference is with the privatized sector. See, I completely agree. I feel like healthcare is not a right, so it should be fully privatized. And if you have coverage, you should get that. I feel like a doctor should be able to charge you whatever the hell you want to get service, and if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else.
But the doctors aren't charging whatever they want. Pharmaceutical companies are.
Now, what does the pharmaceutical company? So if I break my arm, what do the pharmaceutical companies have to do with me?
Where do
going
you think
to my
doctors get the medicine from?
All right, you actually have me right. Well, and to that I say, since the government has the patent system in America is absolutely horrible. I don't think the pharmaceutical companies would have so much power if we didn't fix so many patents. I mean, look what Disney did with the Mickey Mouse situation. Do you guys know about this?
No, I don't. Go ahead.
All right, so public domain, after a character's around for so long, you get to use them.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Happy Birthday song.
Yeah. So what Disney did was they bought some lobbyists, they petitioned, and they extended it all the way to 2019. And so by 2019, Mickey Mouse is going to be a public domain character. However, from reports it's saying Disney's they're trying to get rid of the public domain and push it back for another 15 years. And that's what happens. Now, the reason universal healthcare it won't work because there's no incentive for people being doctors, because doctors won't get paid as much as they do.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't. They'll make
They'll
less
get
money.
paid.
Why is
But,
that?
however, what we should say is that doctors will become more inside the pockets of government officials. They will basically be paid 100% by government officials
And they'll become government
and insurance
workers,
companies.
like teachers.
No longer will doctors be working for us. They'll be working for our insurance companies and our government.
All right. I'm going to propose my main argument,
Okay.
and you can refute it as you will. I say universal healthcare will save taxpayers' dollars. Would you like me to elaborate?
Yes.
Actually, I have a question that's beside.
Oh wait,
the
Christopher,
Yes,
ask your
Chris.
question.
Yeah, no. Why is
See,
it?
Chris, wait. See, Chris has the right to talk over anybody because he's asking questions.
Yeah, not questions where he's trying to argue you into a corner. Like, yeah, well, how about this? He actually has.
Oh, and if we do that, I'll bite you.
Genuine.
No. Why is it that medical bills are actually like so increased? I mean,
I'm going to explain that.
all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give this to Joe.
Okay, so people, if you have a medical issue, you have to buy the medicine, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of goes against the whole idea of a free market where it's a product and you buy the product,
Yeah.
and if you don't like the product that you're getting, then you just don't buy it. Well, if you have a disease, you have to buy the medicine. So healthcare providers can raise prices exorbitant amounts. So a pill that used to cost $50,
I mean, it costs like $500.
even more than that,
Yeah.
ridiculous amounts. They can go up to thousands of dollars for a pill that might make sense to create.
And I know what the argument
But
is saying.
you have to buy the pill.
Yeah, but the main reason that is happening is because there's no competition when it comes to pharmaceuticals.
And here's the thing. We have no bargaining power.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
like I said, you have to buy the pill, so you have no bargaining power where it's like, oh, if you don't...
I can just go somewhere else.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't just say,
Yeah.
I can go somewhere else.
And the reason that's happening is because the government is so involved in the medical process. Like, let me give you an example, the defibrillator. See, back when the defibrillator first came out, it was heavily government. Like, it was like if you're not a certified doctor, had training for it, and if you're not using it at a hospital, you can't use it. And it originally cost around about $15,000, which is a lot of money even back in the 50s.
Yeah.
So
Especially back in the 50s.
Especially back in the 50s. I mean, I wish I lived in the 50s. Not because of the racial black issue.
Yeah, I was about to say something about it. I was about to be like, yeah.
Maybe if I had a lighter pigment.
50s are great if you're a man and you're white.
Nah, so nurses nurses started lobbying this, like nurses and something I forgot. They were like, we want to use it too because it was like, we're in the same position as doctors. Why can't we use it? Save some people's lives.
Yeah.
So that allowed more people to do it. The government was like, all right, we're going to get rid of certain defibrillator laws. So then the firefighters and the policemen were like, yo, we actually have to use this because unlike doctors, we might have to save people in the field like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. And then, so the paramedic METs, they were like, we have to use it too. So that all's come together now, and anybody can use a defibrillator, a private citizen, as long as you're certified with it. And I'm okay with that. And the defibrillator today costs about $1,000, which sounds like a fair price.
Oh, no, definitely it is.
So, like,
Can I finish my point?
yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so medicine, I think we can all agree, costs way too much for no reason.
Yes.
Thing is, with a single payer system, you have bargaining power.
Yeah.
So,
Why?
since you're all paying as one, everybody gives their money to the government, and then the government buys the healthcare, hence the name single payer. So you actually now have bargaining power. They can't raise prices by crazy amounts. So you're saving thousands of percents of price raises, which will save taxpayers money because when somebody gets hit by a car or something, they get treated and they don't have health care, somebody that has to be paid for some way or another. so that burden gets shifted to the taxpayers.
Well, the thing
Wait,
is,
that's actually true?
Yeah. You see, that system would work if governments weren't corrupt. But just imagine this. So you have two different pharmaceutical companies selling fairly the same thing. They could always bribe the government to have them use their pills as opposed to a different company's pills. There's ways to get around that companies will inevitably try to get around that. Because everyone wants to make money.
And what you said about the healthcare, the reason that most Americans didn't have healthcare is because healthcare insurance, their premiums are disgusting because they have to give you something. See, a lot of people are asking, well, why can't I just say cover me for cancer and major injuries? They're like, because that's against the law.
Well, according to The Balance, which is a financial website, they say that 85%, this is an estimate that they've taken from many countries, 85% of healthcare costs are come from people with chronic diseases, such as diabetes and heart disease. So these people are taking up 85% of healthcare costs, and that's because they have to take, for example, pills or insulin every day. So do you think it's fair that the healthiest 50% consume only 3% of the national healthcare costs, but they still pay the same amount?
Well, I'd like to go back to your last point about, politicians will be bought and paid for, so it doesn't even matter.
Corruption.
Well, first off,
what government is
that's
it?
an argument against government corruption. We should get rid of money in politics, not keep our current healthcare system.
Yeah, lobbying is absolutely horrible.
So
Sorry,
Second of all,
you're telling me that people won't lobby, though?
not
that's
if we
why- that's
make
why
it
I did-
illegal. Lobbying
yeah.
is very recent. That wasn't around in the 60s.
Yes, it was. Lobbying first took off after the Gilded Age in the United States history. That's after we That's after we got rid of party patronage and
you
we
gotta remember,
switched over
Dante, you the
to
baby
lobbying.
here.
The beginning of the end was when we're so off the topic, but the beginning of the end was when Bill Clinton, or was it might have been the Supreme Court.
Nah,
But
It's been around since Grover
when
Cleveland.
when corporations were declared legally people, so that means they can donate as much money they want to candidates without restriction. But that's off topic.
No. Off topic is pretty good as long as we get there in an organic way. I mean, it helps the conversation. It helps it healthy, and it gives them more time so I can make more money.
It's just a discussion for another day.
What
Yeah.
do you want?
The second
Say
argument
that for next
is
week.
that already happens. Corporations are already giving politicians money just so that we don't get universal health care.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
Well,
though,
I mean,
So,
all right, you got to look at it like
like-
this. Without lobbying, Mike Pence probably wouldn't be the president. Because I
Mike
can't.
Pence.
No, I mean vice president. Yeah, he probably wouldn't be the vice president.
What is lobbying, like campaigning?
Now, lobbying is like, let's say I want to.
I know
I'm just going to give you guys a random
It's a
example.
stupid question.
Let's say I want to get rid of all the pink bunnies in the field.
Okay,
So I
yeah, just
hire.
pink bunnies.
Yeah, I hire a politician because pink is a lame color. You know, I'm all about that purple.
Okay.
So I'll give money to a guy and I'll be like, yo, I don't like pink bunnies. He's gonna be like, all right, hey yo, let's get rid of those pink bunnies. That's lobbying. That's when you have a special interest in your corporation or company and you want that government official to do it.
Oh,
And it's not corrupt because, like Joey said, a corporation is technically a person, so you can get away with it.
Well, it is corrupt.
Yeah, it is.
so like
not
I'm like an
legally
oil,
corrupt.
I'm an oil
Yeah.
company, and I'm paying a politician basically to say
That happens all the time, and it's
That
horrible.
oil is safe to drink. Yeah.
You can donate.
do that.
You can donate money to them just like corporations can. The only difference is that you don't have billions of dollars at your disposal.
Yeah, I mean, if Disney wanted to change merger laws and company trading laws, I feel like they would actually have the power to do it. Because right now, they're Disney and Fox still. The only reason that didn't even officially happen, it happened, but it's going to take about 12 to 18 months for the government to actually clear it.
And it becomes dangerous when you're dealing with very large companies that employ a lot of people. They can threaten as well if you don't lobby a certain thing. If you don't approve certain things, they can threaten to move all their companies offshore, which will hurt the U.S. economy, for example.
If
many different ways.
a company gives you $50,000 and they're like, hey, maybe if you vote this way, wink, wink, you know that if you vote that way, they're probably going to give you more money at some point. So
And
it's
in
not
some-
directly like, oh, we give you $50,000 to vote this way. It's
But-
more of like a subtle.
And in some cases, they can retract their money too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's actually a really horrible, corrupt system, and I don't agree with it.
All right, we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
So-
that's way off topic.
Dante had another point about healthcare. What was your second point about it?
I forgot your second point.
The healthiest 50%.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
Consume only 3% of the
He didn't
national
like the
healthcare
sound of your
costs,
voice,
but
so
they
he just
pay
was,
the same amount as the people who need insulin every single day. Why should me, if I'm completely healthy, why should I pay the same amount as someone who needs insulin every single day?
So you're worried, well, I'm paying for somebody else's healthcare. Why should I do that when I'm not getting as much back from it?
I'm not getting anything back in this situation.
First off,
That's like half of taxes, though.
you're already paying for other people's healthcare.
Yeah.
The only difference is that you would save money through universal healthcare. It has been estimated, and this is Republicans' words, not mine. They always argue, well, it would cost about $32 trillion to have universal healthcare over the next 10 years. So that's their numbers. But the thing that they omit is the fact that our current system costs about $49 trillion over the next 10 years. So it would save about $17 trillion.
Well, no, but the main problem is because
to the
that's most.
taxpayers.
Yeah, but that's because of Medicaid and Medicare. See, I feel like if we got rid of all that, it would be a lot cheaper. Privatized healthcare would probably be a lot cheaper. If we didn't bend over health insurance companies.
Wrong.
If we didn't bend over in health insurance companies and made them add ridiculous stuff to their plans, it wouldn't be that bad. Because what's actually wrong with saying, so Joey, do you think I should be able to create my own health insurance plan any way I want?
But you can't though.
Why
you know
not?
how high premiums are? Like, it's not the government that's making
Premiums high,
healthcare
yeah.
so ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Premiums rose after Obamacare.
Yeah, premiums went up after Obamacare because the insurance
They've
company.
always been going up.
No,
There was a huge spike.
Mrs. Westman, please dial extension 261. Mrs. Westman, extension 261.
261 extension 261.
Thanks for,
No. What I'm no. I feel like no. If a privatized healthcare sector, even if somebody had ridiculous high rates, okay, I would go to somebody else. What's wrong with doing that? Okay, there's a monopoly right now in healthcare where I'm forced to
You're
go.
using hypotheticals in a situation
Well,
that
that's
we're
actually
already
happened.
in. Yeah, and it's failed. Your hypothetical has already been proven wrong by reality.
When
That's
have we had
not
a
the way it
privatized,
works.
fully privatized healthcare system? When have we had?
We are
that?
the closest of any country ever to having a fully privatized system.
without Medicaid and Medicare.
Yeah, those are the two most popular policies in all of America.
Okay, and I kind of don't agree with them. Like, welfare sucks. I don't feel like you should pay people to be poor. I mean, I understand we have to help people, but healthcare isn't a right. Healthcare isn't a right.
How? If you don't get it, you die.
Okay, and
That's because you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
it does not say that.
If you are not,
So,
okay.
No, so is
So wait, if I'm dying in the hospital,
you don't have the right to be saved. Apparently,
anything to say?
I mean,
No. I defend it because we were just talking about this earlier about why healthcare isn't a right. You shouldn't force somebody to serve you. If the way you want to do it, you're going to be forcing doctors to help you. Now, I understand you'd be like, doctors take a Hippocratic oath, but no, you're forcing somebody else to pay for your service, right? And you're forcing that doctor to pay for it.
but you're
That's
acting
wrong.
you're acting like the service of having your life saved is the same as buying a TV.
Yeah,
Like it's not just a product; it is your life.
Yeah, and I feel like people should do whatever they want with their life. If I want to have a ridiculous health plan that basically only covers cancer and like amputation, that'll be on my fault because I'm stupid. Just like a homeowner who doesn't buy fire insurance but for some reason has flood insurance.
So you don't believe in the right to life.
I do believe in the right to life, but I don't believe that healthcare is a right.
That's a contradiction. What are you eating?
it's a cough drop. Sorry, guys, continue.
Are you on that
I do
lean?
not need it. I need that
I got a
mess.
cough drop. Give me
Alright.
some lean.
Anybody else got anything to say about the healthcare?
I mean, healthcares in the past have overwhelmed governments. According back again to the balance, in
A paper
in
that
some
only
Canadian in some Canadian provinces, they spend 40% of their budget on healthcare. That they could use that money to fund other programs such as education or infrastructure. Like, you really think that it's our best? We have a limited supply of money. Do you really think
this
it's
is
in our
off the
best
top
interest?
of my head too. We spend 54% of our discretionary budget on military.
Yeah, how many
We
times
just-
have we?
I agree that we should cut that as well. I completely agree with you.
And where can it go?
It could
A
go.
wall.
Universal
Education.
healthcare.
Infrastructure.
No. I would put it in education.
I would put it in infrastructure.
And what do you want to do? Build a wall?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what he was getting to.
If you guys have ever been outside of the U.S.,
Yeah.
which it's a shame that only 50% of America's population have ever left the country, but if you ever go to any other
I did
country,
when I
any
was,
country in
like,
Europe,
5.
any country in Europe, they have roads so much nicer than this. Even the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic is a very poor country, yet their roads are 1,000 times better than us. Just drive around Philly for 5 minutes,
It's
and you'll
cool.
get a
I heard
pothole.
about a road in America that collapsed recently.
I promise you, on everything I love, if you drive through Camden with new tires, you will be highly upset. Those roads suck and it's disgusting. And the crazy part is, there's no private sector on roads. They tried to get it.
Roads like Camden are a local infrastructure thing.
Yeah. Camden is retarded. I mean, they spent $1.2 million to build a training center for the Sixers.
But infrastructure's like ports. Nobody ever talks about ports, but yeah, ports need to be fixed. Highways are a federal government thing. But anyway, well, it would go at no expense to us because, like I said, single payer would save us money.
But it's not all about us, though.
Who is else is it about?
I
Yeah,
mean,
who is
we
it
need.
for?
If our government is wasting money, it's going to affect us eventually.
Saving money isn't wasting it.
It's not necessarily saving you money, though.
I haven't heard any argument to convince me otherwise.
Right?
When we have higher bargaining power, prices of drugs go down, and therefore what we do spend on healthcare is less.
Going back to what
I mean,
Jabril said, though, if you fix the patent system, there will be more competition, and you will have bargaining power. That's the real problem. If we fix that, then we wouldn't have a need for universal health care.
Listen to this. Listen how
It's like the government caused the problem, and now you're saying we need the government to fix their problem.
By giving them money, throwing money.
Yeah. Like LASIK eye surgery. I'm going to give you another example. In the 70s, LASIK eye surgery cost out of damn pocket. It was cost about $10,000. It was not covered by health insurance. Nobody in this country would have covered you for it. So they was like, we know how we're going to get this money. Fast forward 40 years later, LASIK eye surgery only costs $1,000, and it's a lot better. So I'm just saying, privatized and competition in the health market is amazing. I mean, think about it.
It's proven not to be, though.
I mean, it's proven. It kind of proven it is.
We have been surveyed to have the worst healthcare system in the world. We're the only first world country without single payer. How is that a coincidence?
Well, I mean, look at other countries. The UK. You know how long it'll take for you to get diagnosed if you have cancer?
All of the Nordic countries, they have all been voted to be the happiest in the world.
How many
All have-
people live in those Nordic countries, though, compared to the U.S.? In
Why-
Iceland, there's
Why does
about.
that matter?
In Iceland, there's.
I think numbers matter.
Iceland is okay.
It's a very small population. It's a lot easier for you to do
I'm
something
talking
like
about
that.
Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Iceland's
Not
a Nordic country.
Iceland.
Iceland's a Nordic country.
It's a goddamn island.
Okay, Scandinavian.
That's
countries.
green.
I'm sorry that I said Nordic. Scandinavian countries. All the Scandinavian countries are voted to be the happiest in the world, and all have single-payer healthcare.
Hey, Joey, since we're talking about noise, you think Skyrim will fall in that or no?
Shut up.
Excuse me?
Fusrota.
Get out of here with that.
I only
But
played-
how is that a coincidence?
I think it's.
No.
There's a lot more things that are affecting
And
those numbers.
almost all of those things are all socialist policies.
Well,
So
socialism
you
is kind
believe
of.
that if we adopted those socialist programs in the U.S.,
Yes,
that we would be as successful
Unless
and
you're
as apparently
saying-
happy.
unless you're saying that it's a coincidence that these complete socialist countries are the happiest.
Well,
in the
I mean,
What is wrong with
What-
socialism? Like, it sounds good.
nothing.
Socialism
I'm
is
actually
like
being
the,
serious.
It's like
The
the dumb
argument
little
against
brother
it-
communism.
USSR,
The
which
argument-
proclaimed itself as a Soviet socialist republic.
Okay,
They claim to be socialist.
It's just,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just they're tacking another name onto something
All right,
that.
listen.
Like,
listen.
go ahead.
Well,
I'm
but
So they
what-
claim
sorry,
to be
Billy.
socialist.
no, they're
You really-
communists.
They claim to be socialist.
The
Legally,
USSR.
yes, the United Socialist Soviet
Yeah, I guess
Republic.
you're right. Oh, I can't curse. Oops.
We'll bleep that out.
Who's
Beep.
actually going to watch through this?
Yeah,
footage
you're right.
again?
I'm stupid. But
What's wrong with socialism? Discounting other nations, though. So, like,
socialism sounds good on paper, but when you actually apply it, it will not work.
why doesn't it work in person?
It doesn't.
I mean,
support.
Joey, look at Venezuela, the most prominent socialist country of today, and they're hunting rabbits and selling their children.
But that's just they had their own way of going about it. I mean,
socialism.
There's only one way.
America is very individualist.
Venezuela is run by idiots.
Oh, come on, you can't say that.
I can, and I just did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, they're idiots because they tried to implement socialism. Thank you.
Don't bang on the table. You're shaking the mic. It probably picks it up. Sorry, everybody.
So, all right.
Okay.
We're talking about what's wrong with socialism.
All right. So in America, we have a very individualist idea that somebody can come from Russia. They can sail down to the U.S.
And that can't happen in a socialist country.
Let me finish.
Go
they
ahead.
can come over here. They can get rich, and they can stay rich. And you know why?
That doesn't happen.
It's a lot more difficult.
The rich stay rich and the poor stay poor.
That's how society works.
But the main reason,
but it's possible.
You need someone at the bottom. Society doesn't work.
Of course.
Every civilization had slaves. You know why? Because you need someone at the bottom.
Dante sounds stupid. No, but the thing is, Chris,
America's a socialist country. I'd like to point that out.
We're a capitalist.
It's probably the most capitalist society in the world.
Yes, but we're still a socialist country.
No, we're not.
Just because you offer some socialist reforms doesn't mean that you're a socialist.
No,
just like how
socialism means you have 5 to 30% run by government.
Yeah, and I don't support the government. I want a small federal
industry.
government. But wait, I like to touch about what Chris was saying. See, Chris, the thing is, so many reasons that so many rich people stay rich nowadays is because government involvement. Government will bail out a company just to make sure that company stays safe. You know, it's like rich won't stay rich. I mean, look at Blockbuster when Netflix came out. Look at the.
You know why? Because competition.
Yeah, competition. See, the telephone market at one point.
Yes, that's where competition's good.
Yeah.
You take that hoodie off.
Yeah, strip it down. Can't see what we saw.
Competition is good in things like that.
So yeah, I'm gonna give you my favorite example. The richest industry in this country was one point the telephone company. There was no way that if you were in the telephone company, you were gonna make good money.
Didn't that turn into AT&T?
Yeah, no, like the telephone company.
There was in the 60s, there was a huge monopoly, and then they got broke into like 5 different companies.
Yeah.
AT&T,
and then so do you know what happened? Telephone lines just went away. You know why? Because some guy came along and was like, "Yo, I know how to make phones mobileless," and that just dominated the market.
Gang.
I mean, but right now, Apple and Google and all those other phone companies are getting complacent because they know they're not letting free ideas reign because they got the government backing and the government just keeps giving them money.
When do you guys think net neutrality is going to take over?
Net neutrality.
All right, so let me just point this out, Joey. You're a socialist, not a communist.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to get that.
Communism doesn't work.
Okay.
Neither does socialism.
Except in the Scandinavian countries.
All
just
right.
pretend that they don't exist,
so,
right?
So just because
okay,
it
but
works.
where else had socialism?
Just because it works in small
socialism.
areas.
Yeah, socialism worked for a good long while in Venezuela. Then the government just went because they ran out of money.
You said communism doesn't work. Look at North Korea. North Korea is a communist society. They're still around.
They're starving. What are you talking about?
Just because it works for a certain group of people.
I'd like to clear.
It's successful. You know why?
You think that North Korea is a successful country?
It's successful. You know why? Because it's an autocracy, which still has its leader at the top.
America's an autocracy.
America. That's debatable. That's very debatable.
Princeton did a study and they concluded that America is a functioning autocracy.
That's the opinion of one university.
Opinion. Yeah, a study.
Listen, an autocracy.
They're scientific papers, but it's an opinion.
So you think socialism will work in this country?
I just can't. Like, I can see it working in different countries. I just cannot see.
Why not in ours, though?
Proof.
U.S.
Single payer has been implemented in certain states. It has worked in their states.
What states?
I think. No, Kansas is broke. I think it's one of the.
Wow, you said Kansas is broke, and they implemented single payer.
No. Well, I was gonna say no. That's not.
You're lucky I don't have my phone because Lotto Crowder did a video talking about why socialism will always fail.
Okay, Steven Crowder's a liar.
Wait, and also again, let's talk about it in those newer countries.
Don't say Steven Crowder. You're just gonna embarrass yourself.
Okay, I promise.
Say it.
Yeah. So in Denmark. Dude, their inflammation rates are horrible, and the average citizen doesn't even own a car.
I forgot what.
Because they don't need cars.
One of the surprisingly southern states that you wouldn't expect it from has single payer, and it's worked.
Just imagine like the ones that has the least blackest.
No, Kansas has re-implemented trickle-down economics, and
so
they're
always have to boil
way
it down
in
to
debt.
race.
Yeah, well, because trickle-down economics is just stupid. Trickle-down economics should not
Every
work.
time it's been tried, it's failed.
Yeah, I agree with you on there because it's a waste of time, effort, and money. Because again, the government shouldn't be helping the rich stay rich, and I personally blame the government on why so many people are still rich. I mean, look at Andrew Carnegie. His family just went into obliteration. They don't even own the majority of the companies. They're poor.
Every conversation we have just goes back to like corruption.
Maybe that's what we're all corrupt.
I think that's the fundamental problem in America. If that was gone, everything else would kind of fall into place.
A lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, but I feel like we don't need a large federal government. I feel like states should be able to handle their own business more freely.
So you're saying that socialism would work if people weren't corrupt?
I think it'll work anyway.
So, but you don't.
America's
I looked up some
the
facts online, y'all. He about to get ready.
No.
America's
Human
the only
nature.
country off the top of my head that I know. There's other way more corrupt countries. Never mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's human nature to be corrupt. People will always look a way to benefit themselves and
That's
people
why
that
our
they care
government
about.
needs to be set up in a way where
That
they
can't
can't
happen.
take advantage of it.
Propose to me how that would work, because I'm sure there's plenty of people around the world who would love to hear how this would work.
Bernie Sanders just did it.
Well-
Bernie Sanders, his entire campaign was paid for by individual people.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Was it successful?
no, it wasn't.
Yes?
No.
He didn't win.
Yeah, because of
Well, the reason he
because
gets
corruption.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
he
give him
lost
that.
because of corruption.
Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt politician in our known history.
Oh, she received $3 billion in...
Yo, a lot of people don't know this, but the Clinton Foundation actually paid for her daughter's wedding. A majority of that money was supposed to go to Haiti.
And the argument isn't...
Speaking of Haiti,
The argument isn't if you can win from that. The argument is if you can be uncorrupt within a system. Hillary Clinton, yeah, she won because she's corrupt.
Yeah.
Because she's over her career, she's received $3 billion or something in money from big giant corporations.
But she still had a majority of the people. I'm not even going to say.
So you're saying if a corrupt individual...
More people voted for Hillary Clinton than anyone else.
well, now to
In
be
the
fair,
general
and
population.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Wait, I have a question. Do they keep count on the vote numbers in the primaries?
Yeah, they should. That's what I thought.
You should be able to look it up if you want.
No, it's actually funny.
I think that Bernie still lost by a little bit
He
in the
did.
primaries.
Well, she knew about
but-
She knew about the debate beforehand.
But the Electoral College was still way off kilter.
Yeah.
She did screw Bernie Sanders over. I
And
will
she-
admit that. But
and she might have not got most of his ballots rejected for doing the same thing she did.
may have not moved stuff around.
Yeah. I mean, she did lose all the majority of the Bernie Sanders states. I mean, Pennsylvania has been voting Democratic for 20 years, and she lost that. And people were just shocked. Like, when that happened, she lost the election. But another reason I think Hillary had that female message, okay?
Are we officially going on from universal health care?
We will.
I thought we were
We can start
been
that at
Yeah.
about 3:30.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
All right, I'm not going to large Hillary rant, y'all, so be ready. If you're Hillary Clinton supporter, y'all going to be mad at me. So do we think that universal health care, since we got 4 minutes, we just going, do you think universal health care can be implemented in this country? Just give your reasons off. And
We should.
I feel like no. I personally don't. I don't think so. I feel like healthcare should be privatized.
It would save money and save lives.
It's just opinion.
Yeah, it should be privatized. 10 minutes. I don't know what he said. I feel like it should be privatized, and it'd actually be better for the economy itself. I mean, I think I gave pretty good examples of when we showed them where healthcare was privatized and doctors could do what they want, and that was better.
Wait, what examples?
I gave you the defibrillator and LASIK eye surgery. And
Okay.
and then I'm gonna give you another. I mean, they just tried to patent.
That's not a system, though.
Yeah, no. Like I'm talking about in that section, they had free reign in healthcare, and prices went down, and more people were able to do it. Your turn, Joey.
It will you can't get rid of a patent system. I don't know enough about that to really comment on it, but from what I know, universal healthcare will save about $7 trillion over the course of the next 10 years, and it will save lives. America, about 45,000 people die every year from lack of sufficient healthcare. So it will save money and save lives. I don't see... And even if it doesn't save money, saving lives is worth it. Because if you say, oh, it'll cost an extra however many $1 billion to do this, or whatever, take a little bit away from the military budget. We don't need to spend that much on military.
Joey, you good? You're wounded. You got a bleeding heart, and it's like all over the table.
What are you talking about?
A bleeding heart. Yeah, it's a bleeding heart. You probably won't get it. You too young.
I believe that the main problem here isn't our current healthcare system. Even though that would definitely need some tweaks, I believe that we need to tweak other things. For example, the patent system. As mentioned by Jabril, the patent system needs to be tweaked. If we do that, we can allow competition. We need less government involvement as well. All those things are hindering us. All those things are hindering us from moving forward in this healthcare situation. And now I'll pass it on to Chris, because I think his opinion's the most valid.
Yeah, Chris, who have you been persuaded by?
Oh dear God. Oh dear God.
Remember, facts over feels.
Alright. I definitely...
Ben Shapiro's an idiot.
I'm going to be out. What?
I said Ben Shapiro's an idiot. Go on.
I don't know what that is.
I love Ben. The only thing bad about him might be his religion, but I can't get into that right now.
Go on, Chris.
Yeah, he reminds me of like a mean Mr.
Shut up.
Overpeck.
Shut up. All right,
Sure,
go on, Chris.
No, but I definitely believe in a free market, but I also do believe in saving as many lives as possible. So I'm more at the crossroads than anything. I see both points, but I also please stop doing what you're doing right now. Sit down.
I'm sorry, I gotta pee and I'm getting antsy.
You getting rowdy, a little rowdy? If our patent system was fixed to a certain extent, and obviously having lobbyists not get involved with that, that could probably help it, but...
Just say you torn.
I'm bloody torn. I can't believe you done this. I think that was the great thing about this is we make people torn. We give you your own thoughts and your own ideas, and you can take it however you want. So Joey has to go to the bathroom, so I'm about to go on a little Hillary Clinton rant real quick.
I think we gotta wrap it up.
We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wrap it up. Well, I mean, this is our first podcast. If you like it, please let us know because they will be longer. I know that for a fact. If we can find
How long has this one been?
It's like it's 2:30. It's 3:30.
No, that won't tell you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think this was.
I'll find out.
I'm Mr. Killer Chris.
I'm Billy Brill.
Dante Max.
And I'm Joe Walker.
Patreon and GoFundMe, please. If you have any critiques,
Smash
please,
that like button.
Yeah, if you have any critiques, please let us know. If you have any topics or ideas or anything we can discuss about, if you even just want to sit here and talk with us, I have no problem doing that. I'll try to make this longer. This will be probably, if I can, put it on YouTube or SoundCloud. I don't know why I'm saying it, because if you're listening to it, you're probably already listening to those places.
I'll do all the post-production.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joey will do all the post-production.
Next week's topic's probably going to be the role of government.
Who says we need it next week? Why can't we do it this week? Oh, wait, yeah, because you have your pops. Well, again, we're going to try to find out like a real-life schedule because we just don't want it to be politics because that can get people bored, you know? For all we know, Joey might have his own podcast.
Bloody confusing me. I'm just saying real quick.
Ranting about libertarians. I thank you for appreciating making it to the end. You have a wonderful night. This has been a wonderful experiment. And shout out to Stephen Gallitig, our producer, and Mr. Dow for using the equipment. Donate, give me money. This was again, give me any ideas. Let's get it. And give me any ideas, man, you know?
I want to die.
Hey guys, this is Joe from the podcast, and I just want to give a little post-show message saying that in the future we'll have better mic quality, we'll have a kind of intro, we'll have a proper background. Currently all of that's being worked on, but I also wanted to say that there's a few things that I wish I had mentioned, and I'm sure that the other guys have things that they're kicking themselves for not mentioning. With that being said, we are not going to do a sort of follow-up episode because this really isn't supposed to change anyone's mind. We're not supposed to present every fact that we can find and try to make a giant comprehensive argument. This is all for entertainment purposes. I just wanted to make that very clear. This shouldn't be used as citations for anything. Shouldn't take really anything that we say too seriously. It's really just meant to open up a discussion. I implore all of you to go research for your own and kind of come up with your own decisions. We all have biases. We all make mistakes interpreting data or whatever. Go out, look up statistics on healthcare yourself, and kind of form your own opinion. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next week.